I'm currently interested in the representation of Jews, Jewishness and Judaism in contemporary cinema. So that means I'm particularly interested in looking for explicit and non-explicit ways by which Jews have been stereotyped both from the outside and both from the inside. Stereotypes from others and self-images. I'm particularly interested in the work of Stanley Kubrick, and most recently I've just written an essay on The Shining as Midrash. I've used Midrash to explore The Shining as Midrash, as Kubrick's contribution to the Midrash on the binding of Isaac on the Akedah. And I'll expand that hopefully into a full-length book looking at all of Kubrick's feature films. If I was to tell a student a good piece of advice is don't always look for the obvious. The things that are on the don't always just look at what's on the surface. The more you know, the more you immerse yourself in the culture of the thing that you're studying, the more clues and codes and links will reveal themselves than perhaps on a first look. I certainly think that's the case with films. I was invited here to lecture today, and I talked about Menschlikayt versus Goyim Naches and the values in Jewish non-Jewish film, and I'm quite interested in how film plays around with sort of traditional Jewish and non-Jewish notions, such as Menschlikayt, decency, and Goyim Naches, pleasure of the Gentiles, and how films like Meet the Fockers, Chariots of Fire, The Big Lebowski, Wondrous Oblivion, and others play around with these concepts in their narratives, and often not in an explicit way. If one sort of delves beneath the surface of the film text, there's kind of, I think, an interesting dialogue between these concepts that's going on. And then I talked a bit more about Jewish and Israeli film in general and the differences, and some of the ways that stereotypes are playing out in the last 20 years in contemporary cinema. For example, in terms of the representations of Jews as religious, not just ethnic, in terms of representations of the Jewess and the Jewish American princess, tough Jews and weak Jews, and these are all issues that I deal with in much more length in my forthcoming book, The New Jew in Film, Exploring Jewishness and Judaism in Contemporary Cinema, which is to be published by I.B.Tauris this year and Rutgers University Press next year. I definitely would like to come back. Just send me the invite.